traveling parents.
Sorry, go ahead.
So we're always meeting at various places. Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us tonight for the town hall. I appreciate you. Jody, I know you have the deck up. I want to make sure
Yeah,
if
everybody's
we can, yeah, we can move on.
okay.
All right, next. All right, so this is going to be our agenda for the meeting. And actually, I'm going to do very little talking tonight, which doesn't normally happen, but all the other departments are going to give you lots and lots of updates. And so if we want to move on, I am going to ask, let me see here. Debbie, are you at a place where you can unmute and give us the promise?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, great. If you'll do the promise for it.
On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law.
Thanks, Debbie. I appreciate you. So I don't have much in the way of updates. I'm probably going to steal a little bit of Sandy's thunder, but my update is really sort of where we are in budget for fiscal/membership year 24 and what we're looking like for 25. So where we are right now, I think on all of our future or our past calls, we've talked quite a bit about that our fall product was about $30,000 under budget, but cookies were about $400,000 under budget. So we're looking at a little bit of a budget deficit in this moment. Now, again, we are just a little over halfway throughout the year. There are going to be some other forms of revenue, but also we're going to be able to cut some expenses in areas. So we aren't sure exactly what that's going to look like, but we did want to make sure everyone knew where we are in a little bit of a financial situation. In addition, I want to mention there's quite a few things that are on the horizon for us financially. Nothing that you all specifically need to worry about, but I'd like to make sure that we're transparent, that you understand what's going on, and sort of all the things, the balls that are in the air that we're trying to manage as we're going through budget preparations right now. So one is, I think everyone knows that our cookie contract is up after the 2025 season. So we know that there's going to be an increase there. We don't know what that's going to look like. Over the course of the last 2 years, there have been increases anywhere from 10 to 15% to 40 to 60%. Just really aren't sure what that's going to look like. What I will tell you is about 2 weeks ago, Sandy and I did receive an update from our baker that they are going to invoke an amendment that we have in our contract to have a slight increase even next year while we're under contract, because the cost of cocoa has gone up. So I think that's the important thing to know, is that as the cost of all of these ingredients increase, those are passed on to us. So no, and I just say that to say that as we look forward next year and thinking about the budget, we know that's already going to be an increase for us. In addition, of course, we're looking at this whole Department of Labor situation that's going on right now. I don't think it's going to end up in the iteration that it is right now, but I do think there are going to be some changes. And what that really means for us is that we just have to think about how we're staffing, where we're staffing, what that looks like, and making sure that we are providing obviously the best opportunities for our employees, and that translates into the best experience for our volunteers and our members. So just some things that are in the pipeline on the horizon for us as we think about budgeting for FY/MY 25 and where we are. So let me pause for a moment, see if there are any questions about that. And then I do sort of want to make a little bit of announcement about some of the things with our properties. I know you're going to get a full property update, but any questions there? I want to make sure I see any hands that are raised. Okay. Well, in addition, we do know that that we are really excited with all the improvements that have been happening at the properties. There's a lot more to come, and we certainly want our girls, our volunteers, our parents, our community to use our properties as much as they can. So we're going to continue to make improvements there and in any spaces that we can. But we are excited that in the new membership fiscal year, we're going to have some opportunities for people to specifically give to different camps or different properties and different projects. So no, that's going to be on the horizon as we hit September and October, and want to make sure that you all know that's coming and have an opportunity to share that with others where you would like. All right. Well, no questions for me. As I said, it's a short night for Nikki. The other departments have lots to share with you. We're really excited about some of our improvements that are happening at the property, as well as making sure we're sharing some of the emergency procedures, particularly as we are moving into camp season and a lot of opportunity for people to rent the properties. We want to make sure everyone understands what those procedures are. So if there is an emergency, we can make sure we're handling it appropriately. All right. No questions? Nothing else for me? All right. I'm going to turn it over to property.
Hi, everybody. Jody, can you go to the next slide, please? So I just wanted to update the group on some of the funding requests that we have submitted this year in support of things happening at our properties. So we have submitted 10 so far, and that's equaled about $865,000. We've not yet received decisions on these grant applications, but some of the projects that we've asked for support are the bunkhouse rebuild at Sacagawea, new fire circle benches at Sugar Hollow, multipurpose renovations, and the pavilion at Ishimani. So we anticipate at least 5 more funding requests going in before the end of June. Next slide. Ishimani. So we have that huge water tank that's been inspected. It's actually been sealed, and refilling it just was completed in the last hour. We have plumbing improvements to stabilize our drinking water system. Our sprinkler system upgrades are underway, and we are evaluating an Eagle Scout project proposal to update the climbing wall. Sugar Hollow. We have new roofs at Multipurpose and Rocky Top, gutters on Multipurpose and Rocky Top. We have regular pest control service. They are amazing. They're great partners. Can't say enough good things about that company. It's Sprouse. If any of you in the area are looking for somebody. We've had electrical upgrades to Multipurpose. The Multipurpose attic was cleaned, disinfected, and sterilized. We installed insulation there. New split HVA systems are going to be installed at Multipurpose and Patterson. All the chimneys were inspected. Rocky Top has already been sealed, and we are going to purchase electric fireplace inserts for Multipurpose and Patterson, but we are not going to install those until all the renovations are wrapped up there. So it'll be one of the last things that we do. The Multipurpose kitchen and bathroom renovations are scheduled for winter. We had hoped that it was going to work out to get done before summer camp, but with the juggling all the contractors and their schedules, we could not pull it off. So we've had to put it on hold. So we have, for those of you who've been there recently, we had some open holes and things like that. All that's been patched, and it should be, or being patched, it should be wrapped up and ready to go by that second week in June. The trees have been planted along the road and the entrances. It looks amazing. We have a troop who have taken on watering those trees to make sure that they have a healthy start through the summer as their Bronze Award project. And then just a quick update, our trash service there is suspended because we are limited in our options. And the one company that we used previously is not a good partner for us. So we have a plan in place where staff are taking care of moving the trash after reservations have ended for now. That's not to say we won't do something else. We're just And also, not a lot of people serve that area, so we're sort of limited. And now on to Camp Sac. New windows at Gay Lodge. The Troop House has been renovated and reopened. The sports shed's been renovated. The porches and the decks on the Ranger House have been replaced. Hideaway and Tanglewood. Tanglewood's being renovated. I think Hideaway's almost complete. I don't know if Bobby's on the call to confirm that. The pavilion's going to be rebuilt. The steps at the program admin building have been removed, and in its place, there'll be a small deck installed. And of course, many hours of trail work, landscaping, mowing, property, just regular maintenance by our volunteers who we appreciate very much. Next slide before we let people ask questions. Just a reminder, most of everything that I've just shared has been posted in the property maintenance rally, and Bobby is really great about providing pictures for that. So please, if you have not joined that, there is the link to do so. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so let's move on to the next item. Emergency procedures. So it's really critical that everyone has an effective emergency action plan when you are, even in your troop meeting, taking a trip, doing an activity. That way the volunteers and the adults who are with you can act quickly and respond to the emergency in a prompt manner. Different types of emergencies include medical, accidental injury, or an incident or crisis involving behavior, weather, fire, active shooter, things like that. So potentially mitigate and minimize the damage, the injury, or the time element for seeking help. You need to respond appropriately and then follow up with the incident report. I cannot remember the number for that form. Can anybody remember?
I'll get it for you. I usually
Okay,
know.
we can post it in the chat. And having a clear action plan as well as practicing and role-playing emergent scenarios beforehand are all important ways to increase safety and situational awareness to improve our outcomes. It's really critical to stay aware, avoid being distracted, and follow your gut if something doesn't seem right. Next slide, Jody. So the next few slides are basically straight from our Form 1088, which are our emergency procedures. So when an emergency happens, take charge and respond appropriately. Here are some instructions for the person in charge at the scene. Remain calm, render assistance, call 911. Have someone, a responsible adult preferably, standing by to direct emergency services to the scene. Contain the emergency situation to where it happened. The incident report number, 1089. Investigate rumors. It's important to call the emergency number. Your call will be answered by a GSVSC staff member. If there is not an answer, please leave a message on that voicemail. We do get notifications, for instance, if we have missed the call for whatever reason. A staff member will call you back. And then attach the incident report to copies of medical records, insurance claim forms, and keep all pertinent information and send it to HQ@info@. Make sure you keep a copy for yourself. If a crisis occurs, and that includes an injury, missing person, or a fatality, give priority attention to the injured. Call 911. Contact the parent, guardian, spouse, or other responsible person, and have a responsible adult stay with the injured, and if at all possible, until the parent, guardian, or spouse arrives. Handling the general public or media, keep onlookers away, be polite but firm. You're in charge. Refer all media inquiries to the staff person who responds to your emergency phone call. Make no statements to the media. That's really critical. Do not discuss the incident or place any blame or accept any liability. So please call the emergency number when there's an accident or an injury. Any situation or someone is injured, becomes suddenly ill, if you have to provide first aid or treatment is provided by a first aider or medical professional. If there's any type of crisis, a serious behavior problem, an injury or illness that's likely to result in death or disability, a site emergency like a fire, a flood, or missing person. And of course, an incident will include intruders, vandalism, property damage, alleged theft, and so on. So the emergency phone is rotated amongst staff members. So your call will always be answered by a staff member. We don't use an answering service or a call center or something like that. If the call doesn't get answered, please leave a message. Our voicemail messages will trigger an email to be sent to the staff member who has the emergency phone. So we are notified in other ways other than just the regular phone notification that you missed a call. Please do not utilize the emergency phone in non-emergent situations. Instead, please send your after-hours challenges, issues, concerns, or questions to info@gsvsc.org, and then a staff member will reach out to you during regular business hours. Thank you, Jennifer, for posting those forms. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Yes, thanks, Jody. I recommend saving the emergency phone number in your contacts when you are traveling with your troop.
That's just easier. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'll go on to membership. There are no other questions. All right, so as of 5/20/22/24, this is a comparison of year end versus where we are currently in this membership year. So right now we're sitting at 2,489 girls, 1,633 adults, and 986 lifetime members. So totally we have exceeded total members, but not in regards to girls. So we're still lagging behind in girl members for this membership year. But as you can see, you can kind of see where we are pre-pandemic and where we are trying to slowly edge our way back up after the pandemic. So it's still been a slow process. Here's where we are for spring registration, looking for NY 2025. So as far as going into next year, we actually are ahead in most areas compared to pre-pandemic. So as you can see, it's kind of fluctuated, but as of May, so this is the numbers looking at May at each year where we were going into the upcoming membership year. So right now we're looking at 1,366 girls, 625 adults, and 993 lifetime members going into spring renewal, which is great, but we need to keep that momentum going. Any question? Any question? No? Okay. Just make sure everybody had a chance to look at the numbers. We will post these so you can see them. They'll also be posted in our service unit talking points, so y'all can share that out. So fall recruitment planning is underway, on top of still recruiting basically and doing, we're still trying to start new troops now and get everything prepared, so they can, especially those daisy troops that can maybe actually start up in the fall. And so we actually had a service unit team camp out, and a new service unit team planning guide was created. So each of the service unit teams that were there received the information, their goals. This was filled out for them. So if you and your team, or there was not a team member present at the service unit team camp out, make sure you contact your community engagement manager so they can share your goals with you. So if you're not able to attend, we want to make sure that you have access to that guide and all of your goals and things like that, so you can help us prepare for fall. So our goal is to increase girl membership participation. We really need to get our girl members back over 3,000. Going back to the whole budget conversation that Nikki had earlier, this really does, have a major impact on that. And so where we are going into 2025, like I said, we have 1,300 and some odd girls. So we're going to kind of keep track of this on our town halls, so we can kind of see our progress. But this is where we are currently going into membership 2025. Obviously, we want to also increase troop opportunities. Right now, we're sitting at 135 active troops for the upcoming membership year. We have a total of 16 troops that have less than 5 girl members. We do have I don't have the complete breakdown, but a majority of those troops are multi-level troops, which is fine. But hopefully we can open up more troops. So it's really important that if you have troop openings, that you obviously open that up, and I'll get to that in a minute. Right now we have a total of 486 active troop leaders. This does not include leaders in multiple troops. So yes, as individual leaders that we have overall council-wide. So again, we're sitting at a less than 500. So we need to increase the number of troop leaders so we increase the number of troop opportunities. We know that's where families want their, girls to be. So it's really important. So it's kind of our focus is to try to increase those opportunities. But if you have a troop that has open spots, you want to make sure that parents and guardians can find you. It's really important that you submit this, and I will put the link in the chat here. So it's really important to submit that. I think somebody, yep. Thanks, Jennifer. Jennifer just posted it for me. Thank you. So this is how we update the troop meeting information and your troops participation in open spots. So it helps communicate that to us so we can make those changes. If a troop has actually changed their meeting location, their day, their frequency, whatever, or they're going to accept new program levels, or they're no longer accepting certain program levels, it's really important that troops submit this form so we can make those changes and keep them accurate. And so again, as we have people contact the council looking for troops, we need to make sure that we're able to share accurate information. So it's really important that if there are changes, that the troops are communicating those openings or certain program levels that they may not be serving. So any questions? Don't see any questions so far. Okay. So membership recruitment rally, don't forget about this. So we need volunteers to help us grow. And we want you to join the recruitment rally. If you haven't, we will let you know where volunteer opportunities are for recruitment events around the council. And you can also post your recruitment events and add them to the shared calendar there. So we can keep everybody up to date on what you're doing as well locally. So this is where we kind of keep track of the opportunities there, and it's really helping us to help get volunteers to help us in certain areas where we cannot be in 2 places at once. So as in the fall, there's a lot of times where the school systems, all their open houses and opportunities may occur on the same day in multiple service units. And so the community engagement managers are having to pick one community, one school that they can be at, and we need volunteers to help cover the rest. So even with all the staff pitching in, we still need help. So please be prepared to help this fall. We really want to make sure that we make a huge impact. All right. And I think, lastly, we still have free decals available. They'll be available through June 30th or until gone. And so make sure you claim your decal if you haven't already. So they're really cute. It was designed by Marin. She did a great job. And I think that is it for membership. Yep. And I'll turn it over to Sandy.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad you were able to join us. I know that everybody's very, very busy trying to wind up some things, whether it's school year or troop year or service unit year. And we appreciate all the help that you give us and support in all your many hats you wear. Just a quick update on the cookie program. We had $2,723,000 for the final sales numbers, and that's a whole lot of cookies. So everybody was busy, parents, girls, as well as volunteers. We know it takes a lot of work to make that happen. 91% of last year's sales is what this number represents, and then 81% of the current budget. Digital sales, all-time high at 808,949, and that's 14% above last year. Woo-hoo! So a lot more girls decided that they wanted to also join in on the digital experience, which is good that they get the opportunity to learn multiple ways and how to present themselves and market their products. The gift of caring was up as well, 12% above last year. So, and a lot of service units took the opportunity to take in their digital cookie online gift of caring sales by their troops and get them distributed to their troops. If you have not done that and want to for your service unit area, you can still reach out to product program at gsvsc.org, but please do that no later than next week because it's getting hot, so I need to get the rest of the cookies donated from the building. So the troops participating was 192, and that's 98% of last year, and 98% of our current year registered troops, and 88% compared to the last year's amount that participated. The girls at 1,774 is 90% of the current year's girls registered. And then the 92% is of compared to last year's number of girls that participated. The Cookie Top Achievers, we're going to announce them probably by the end of the weekend or Tuesday of next week. We have 88 String of Pearls. We've already announced our String of Charm Achievers, and that's 19. And then we'll be announcing soon the Crossover Achievers. We'll celebrate these young women on June 21st, and invitations and the registrations to the ones that won these awards will be sent to them in the next few days. The rewards have been received by most service units, and they are working hard at trying to separate everything by troop and get it ready to distribute. I know some of them have already begun to get things out to the troops. So if you are a troop person and you haven't heard anything, I wouldn't worry. They just got these things within the last 5 to 6 days, and it takes a lot of work. So hopefully they'll be reaching out to you in the next couple of weeks. So thank you all again for all of your support and your participation in the cookie programs. Let's look at the next slide, please. So just some general business information. We're already starting to plan for the next seasons with the vendors. The theme for both product programs is going to be Embrace Possibility. And for the fall product program, the mascot is the Asian elephant, an endangered species. And for the cookie program, the mascot is the panda, also an endangered species. So the rewards that are made around these items, these particular animals are very cute and adorable, as well as they have more information available about how to support the environment available for you to have either at rallies or just to use in troop meeting activities. We're working on some new strategy and improved processes, and some of this is a result of the survey results that we got. So thank you all that did participate. We do review that information and use it in the best way we can. And then the Skyline Shop is going to be open by appointment on June 1st. And then due to day camp, we won't have the shop open within the building except if Judy wants us to have it for the camp. We just need to minimize the traffic here, since girls will be all over the property during those 2 weeks of dark holiday camp. Also, we will continue to fill orders for shipment to send it to Skyline Shop at gsvsa.org and pick up as well. It's just during that day camp period, we'll be putting in Girl Scout Connections an adjusted office pickup time to try to definitely stay away from when the girls are being dropped off or picked up. All righty. So do we have, so I'm sorry, I missed that. There was a question that popped
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, that got sent to me accidentally. So it's a message from Beth. She's wanting to know if camps can buy some cookies.
Actually, Beth, I'm getting ready to send out an email to you about not only what do you need from the shop, but also I have enough cookies to give camps. So any camps online tonight, if you will send me, go ahead and preempt my email, you're welcome to, and send me a list of about how many cases you need, and if you have any preferences such as no chocolate or something like that, just mention that. And we have enough cookies that we should be able to give every volunteer run camp some cookies for you. Okay? We'll work out the logistics of getting them to you through the email process, because it'll be different pretty much with everybody. All right, any other questions? All right, thank you so much. We appreciate you in so many ways.
Program.
Everyone. So the adventures have a bunch of programs coming up, and those dates are posted here. There are several hiking as well as the float your boat programs. Registrations are also due for the 2025 wagon trip coming up. So if you know anybody interested, please have them apply to that trip. Here are our summer camp dates, and I also updated it so it has the registration close dates for everyone. For more information, you can go to the summer camps webpage. And here is a short video that our Marcom team has made. The volume's a little low.
As loud as I can get it. Here we go. All right. All right.
Awesome. And we have our save the dates for the upcoming council programs. Feel free to take a minute to look those over. And we have registration open for the river rock climbing. That one was rescheduled to November. We only had a few girls register, and now we're picking up on some attendance. The other ones we're working on getting the registrations live, and we'll hopefully have them done by the end of next week.
All right. Well, that is the end of our presentation. So if anyone has any questions or they want to share anything that they have going on, now's the time. Feel free to unmute.
This is Trisha McMahon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
My question is, I'm not involved with the day-to-day stuff. Really, my primary work is with archives. But I read the connections and so on regularly. I'm wondering about the STEM ban. I have not seen any kind of PR or any kind of program offered for that, and wonder what's going on with that.
I can take that one. We had a few programs scheduled at the beginning of the year that were canceled, and we also attended several last December. So those are being primarily used for service unit events. So service units can apply. There's a form on the website, and maybe Jennifer's already looking for it. She's normally pretty fast at posting that stuff. But there is a form on the website that the service units can apply for some of the coding events.
I think it would be a good idea for that to be advertised in the connections. I haven't, as I say, I haven't seen anything. So having a form available doesn't necessarily put it right up in people's, information, but to really advertise that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I think Jennifer's still on here, right? Yeah, Jennifer's still there. So maybe we can add it to the next GS Connect. That way we can get it more advertised.
Can I just say about Junior Jam, or you want that somewhere else?
No, you can absolutely share if you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay. So Junior Jam was wonderful. We had oh shoot, I think we planned for 101 people. That was staff and girls. Everybody had a blast. They kept saying that they've never eaten so much in their life. It felt Marion Stump kept saying, I feel like I'm feeding a baby. We're eating every 2 hours. But then one of our things from 5 years ago was there wasn't enough food, or they didn't feel like it was enough food. So we're trying to hit that happy medium with that. But the girls all had smiles on their faces. Camp Brethren Woods is just a wonderful place to have it. So hopefully in 2 years, or if we decide to do this again, everybody will get the word out that Junior Jam is wonderful and we need to get that up.
Beth, it's a wonderful event. Thank you so much for all you all did. It was incredible. We really appreciate you all. The girls love it.
So we just someone asked, Kristen asked to go back to the slide so they could take a picture. We did. I
Yeah,
did.
and it's also in the chat.
All right, looks like we had a question from Deloma. If you have allotted your money, trips, and events for girls you have in your troop now, and you have new girls that want to come in, how does that work with new girls? So that they're joining before the trip, Deloma? You want to unmute, maybe clarify? I don't know if she can unmute. They want to join now. So depending on the troop, I mean, obviously troop funds are troop funds, but yes, a lot of work's gone in to prepare for maybe a big trip. It's okay to have the conversations with the parents that, hey, we're planning this big trip, and obviously these new families shouldn't necessarily have an expectation that the troop is actually going to pay for these girls. I mean, I don't, it's supposed to be girl-led decision. So have you discussed it with the girls, and what do the girls say? That's typically where I would say you need to start. Have you had discussions with the troop, the girls? Because it's all girl driven. I don't know if you can unmute Deloma. I don't know if I don't think you're hooked to audio. Maybe that's why. And it's okay to type it in the chat. And Deloma, we can talk some more later if we need to. Okay. Oh, Father's Day is incorrect on our calendar. Jennifer, we might want to fix that. We can fix that. Thanks, Carrie. Going back to Deloma, again, you want to have a discussion with your girls. They're concerned that they won't have enough for their trips. Have you had a large, I assume you're having an influx of girls. So depending on the time of the year, it's okay to have a discussion with the new parents and set clear expectations. You want to set those clear expectations. They can't just assume that, previous fundraising applies to them. Does that make sense? So just be clear on expectations when they're joining. Yes, there's upcoming trips, but the girls need to, the new girls need to participate in, money opportunity, and maybe you can get approval for an additional fundraising opportunity, additional money earning opportunity that the new girls could participate in to help offset those costs until the next product sale. And WSC, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I don't think I've been on a town hall or actually even a service unit roundtable since we had Wild Women's Weekend, but just wanted to report on that. We had 40 attendees list this year. We have never, ever had that many before. And it sort of strained us at the seams, but we managed to make it go. Everybody had a great time. And we trained, I think, 11 or 12 new coordinators. So, if anybody knows other adults that are interested in getting involved with older girl programming, they need to reach out to us. We have already started planning for next March, already settled where we're going, and we're going to move forward with that. But we would love to hear from anybody that's interested in taking that training so we can at least get their name, rank, and serial number at this point and reach out to them when we have more specifics for them.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, we actually had, so Brian Kearney, as usual, was down from Nation's Capital. We actually had 2 gals that are running a Trailblazer program in South Carolina that actually came up and joined us as well.
That's really cool.
They also, okay, they're the one's name, but she also wrote an article, Amy Brown.
Amy Brown.
An article in Virginia, Girl Scouts of Virginia or something. And it named us. It has pictures from Adventures Wild Women's Weekend. It was a really good article.
Oh, if you find it, share it. That would be great. We'd love to post that. That's awesome.
It's on Adventures.
I think, Jody, I think she posted, I'm pretty sure it's posted to the Adventurers page. So we ought to be able to go back and find it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure Jennifer can help us locate it. I would love to see. That's great.
It's down in there somewhere. I know she sent us all a separate email as well, but I'm pretty sure we posted it up to that page as well. But they were really excited. They took a lot of really great ideas back with them to South Carolina. And we're finding more and more that other troops, other groups or service units or councils or whoever is generating these programs are reaching out to us and looking to see what kind of model we are using to get these older girls involved in the outdoor activities and establish Trailblazer programs, or they're not even necessarily always calling them Trailblazer programs, but they're basically focused on outdoor activities and high adventure. We had a gal that was going to come from Commonwealth, and unfortunately cookie sales and cookie booths kept her back in Richmond. So hopefully she'll come join us next year. And it's unfortunate. The timing is always during cookie season. We cannot do much about that because there's issues going either direction with Wild Women's Weekend. So we're sort of stuck where we are. But I think we settled on the second weekend of March next year when we were able to get our reservation someplace. So people can keep that in the back of their mind.
Thank you.
I also, one more thing. It's Beth. I also got an email today from a troop leader in California that has multiple questions about Mall Madness because they want to do it out there. Now, how they got that information, I don't know, but they are picking our brain on what we do and how we do it and that kind of thing.
That is really cool. Yeah, that's really awesome.
Thank you, River, for finding that so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. It got pretty buried down there.
Yeah, it did, but I knew it was there. I was just going to be a matter of who was going to go hunt for it and how soon it would happen.
That's the, where they're already getting questions. Is there a date for Mall Madness next year?
I just saw it was typing. No, we do not have a date. It will be either March or April. And Easter is the last full weekend in April, or the last weekend in April next year. So I'm not sure exactly where. We had to chill. That takes a lot out of us. So we had to chill out.
Understood. Thanks. Yep, I didn't mean to move forward. We can still take more questions. We have a little more time. Anybody else have anything to share? All right, well, we got a few more minutes if you'd like to. We'll keep the floor open to share anything additional or ask any additional questions. If not, we will say good evening. Nope, looks like that's it. Okay. Well, if anything comes up, you know how to reach us, contact us, call us, send us an email at info@. Thanks for being here. Again, we will, thanks everybody for joining. We will add these updates to our service unit talking points and share this information out. But again, if you have anything in between, we will take a break over the summer for June and July and August. August will be more recruitment time, so we will be starting back up after that. So, and we'll be sure to share the dates. So everyone have a safe Memorial Day weekend. Thanks for being here.